Supernatural overflow. Supernatural overflow. Okay, so it is testimony time. Without wasting time, I'll read Psalm 19, verse 7. I want the NLT version, if that's fine. Okay, so the instructions of the Lord are perfect, reviving the soul. The decrees of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. Amen. Thank you, Daddy and Mommy, for the opportunity and the learning experiences. Amen. Okay, so grateful to God for uncountable miracles. Please kindly listen carefully so that we can all tap into the blessings. Amen. To start with, before I came to Zoe, I had won an American visa lottery whilst in school. But due to reasons unknown to me, things did not go as planned, and I was not granted the visa. I was not denied, neither was my passport sent to me empty. I was really confused because I had deferred my course in the university and did not know what to do then. Throughout the American lottery process, Papa was there, so when it turned out differently, he sat me down and told me to focus on the things of God. He taught me to put God first in everything, and also told me not to follow the crowd. He taught me how to have a personal relationship with God and see what he would do for me. I took everything he said in good faith and started working towards it. At first, I did not want to go back to the university, so I bought nursing training forms and gained admission. Just when I was about to start schooling, Papa stopped me. He told me to go back to the university, get my degree, and do whatever I wanted to do. I was a bit confused because I had gained admission to Confanoche Nursing and Midwifery Training School, but I had to follow instructions, so I went back to complete my university degree. On this note, can you turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, please follow instructions. Okay, so everything was fine. Papa kept talking to me about consistency at church, correcting me when he saw me doing something wrong, and also giving me money whenever I went to him to ask. Fast forward, I completed university and was posted to Ghana Airport to do my service. Unfortunately, I was not accepted there. But this time, I was not heartbroken because Papa had taught me how to face challenges, and he was there whenever I needed assurance. With the help of God and Papa's prayers, I was reposted to Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority. Papa kept on talking to me about consistency. My place was very far from church, but he was paying my transport every service day and also giving me pocket money when I was in need. Mind you, the least amount I paid as transport was 120 Ghana cedis, so you can imagine the cost involved. I was lucky Papa spoke to me about first fruits before teaching at church, so I brought my first NSS salary to the altar and prayed to God to retain me at the port. Because I was denied at the American embassy, I had no traveling plans. I was not ready for any embassy drama. But on that fateful day, Papa laid his jacket on me and told me to pray. In my head, I was praying for a stable job. But when he opened his mouth, he prayed for international doors. I was wondering where that door was going to come from because I had stopped praying about traveling. Weeks after, I had issues with my accommodation, and Papa taught me about making vows. I made a vow, and the rent issue was solved. The Monday after fulfilling the vow, two of my bosses called my friend and I and started talking to us about studying abroad. They sent us the link and told us to apply, but I didn't. So on Friday, I came to tell Papa about it, and he told me to apply with immediate effect. I was scared because the requirements were a lot, and I did not know how my dad was going to take it. So after I applied, I came to the altar on a Wednesday in tears with 2,000 Ghana cedis to enter into a covenant with God. I remember vividly, Papa told me to stop crying and that his God will not fail. Amen. Amen. He called the pastors and they prayed for me. From that day, I had confidence in the fact that God will not fail me, but it was not smooth. After I applied, I had to go for my certificate and transcript. When I got to the school, I was told my certificate and transcript were not ready because I had outstanding results. I therefore exclaimed, "Hey, how come?" The authorities of the school I had applied for scholarship were also waiting for these documents to give me admission. I came to Papa and he laughed about it. The instruction was simple. Submit the application and go and write the exams. Once again, turn to your neighbor. Say, "Neighbor, follow instructions." So the exams was possible, but submitting an application without a certificate was not possible. Again, I had to follow instructions, so I did. My first testimony is, I was granted admission with a 3,000 euro scholarship and also given time to submit my documents. At this point, I knew I had no hand in it and that the God of Prophet Francis Awoche was working. Amen. My task was now simple. I was just focusing on church activities and leaving the burden to God. With the results, I had an F in one of the subjects, so I had to rewrite. Before going to write the exams, I made a vow again to God on the same altar and started studying towards the examination. Out of nowhere, the lecturer, who was not replying my messages, contacted me and even sent me areas to learn for the exams. I fulfilled the vows of 1,000 Ghana cedis and made another vow because I noticed it was working for me. This vow was for God to do the impossible, and he did it again. My results appeared on my transcript, something that I had to wait for a whole process. God did it, so I fulfilled the vow with my ex gratia. I made another vow again, wow, for my certificate and official transcript. Normally, I should have waited for the graduating batch to graduate and have their certificate before mine comes, but the impossible happened. My certificate was printed right after their graduation. After receiving the certificate and I submitted it, I received a call that it was a mistake. I laughed so hard about it, and when I came to tell Papa, he also laughed about it. The devil was trying to mess with my faith, but this time I had total confidence in the God of my father. The school also called around the same time and asked that I write an aptitude test or IELT. So I took the exams fee from my dad and brought it to the chief examiner, that is God. I told him to write the exams for me, and he did it again. This time, I was willing and determined to put everything I get on the altar because it was really working for me. I went to write my German exams and I passed without struggle, even though I was skipping classes for church services and rehearsals. I had 76 out of 100, a language I knew nothing about. So all was set. The only thing left was money for school and visa interview. The fee was in euros and the city kept on increasing and things kept on going wrong for my dad. So I moved to the altar again and told God to drop the city for my sake. He did it again. The city dropped and I made payments. Now with the visa interview, I waited for some time, but I was not getting an interview date. After weeks of trying, I moved to the altar and also went to Papa. He did not say anything. He just told me to go and book it. And that very night, I had a date, which was the only slot available. A day to the interview, I sowed another seed and made a vow. The interview was successful, but again, my date of birth on my BECE result was incorrect. So I prayed so much about it that God should do the impossible. When I went for the interview, it was noticed, but it did not affect me negatively. Now, I had to wait for the visa. A week after the interview, I felt a strong urge to fulfill my vow before the visa comes, but I was reluctant and did it later. A month passed and my date of admission also passed. I told Papa about it and he told me to start thanking God. So I wrote everything God has done in the traveling process on a paper and started thanking him genuinely each day. So I was just thanking him and praying kingdom advancement prayers. Fast forward, on the 17th or the 7th, I received a call from the embassy. The lady who called said they had sent a mail a month ago and I did not reply. Honestly, I did not receive any mail. So I went to the embassy with my flight reservation and travel insurance. And I was given my visa on the 13th of March. I traveled without any struggle on the 17th. That is 4 days intervals. Wow. This may sound like a story, but everything is real. God, through his prophet, has been so good to me. And I want to thank God so much for the mind-blowing testimony. And also thank his prophet for being a blessing to me. Please, whatever he tells you, because he genuinely have our interest at heart, Jesus is Lord. Please, can we just have a standing ovation for Daddy? This is mind-blowing. Trust me. Okay, so the testifier is Miss Sarah Fida Bofa. Thank you.